Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Not too bad. How about yourself today, Shik?
Pretty good. At least I didn't have to go out and work like my wife did. It's pretty miserable out.
Yeah, I had off today too.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
I
That's
start, I
good.
start back tomorrow, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
I
was
had
really wet, and she had to walk around all from place to place and got soaking wet. And it's like springtime in Pittsburgh. It's like 1 minute, it's like next week, I think it's going to be like 76 degrees.
yeah.
Just wait a day, it'll change. Springtime. Okay, we're in 1028. I switched back to this old Veda based thing because I actually looked up the verse that I was upset about, and I accepted their argument. So now I'm a corporate man again. I'm a company man. My wife laughs every time I say that. I was a company man, then I was a rebel. Now I'm a company man again. I even bought another set of Chaitanya Charitamritas. I was going to like sell them all and get the old version, but that's not going to work because the Krishna Inc. Bhagavatam set only goes up to 10.3 and ends where Prabhupada left off,
Mhm.
went back to the spiritual world. You got to have all the 12 cantos of the Bhagavatam. That's ridiculous. So I guess I'll read the first verse here. Text 28. Adyudanam aham brajam deyanam asmi kamaduk prajanas chamsi kandarpa samparnamasmi vasuki ayudanam. Of all weapons, aham, I am vajram, the thunderbolt. De nunam, of cows, asmi, I am kamaduk, the survey cow. Pajana, the cause for begetting children, and asmi, I am kandarpa, Cupid. Sarpanam, of serpents, asmi, I am Vasuki. Translation: of weapons, I'm the thunderbolt. Among cows, I'm the Surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vasuki. Purport: the thunderbolt, indeed, mighty weapon, represents Krishna's power. In Krishna Loka, in the spiritual sky, there are cows, which can be milked at any time, and they give as much milk as one likes. Of course, such cows do not exist in this material world, but there is mention of them in Krishna Loka. Krishna keeps many such cows, which are called Surabhi. It is stated that the Lord is engaged in herding the Surabhi cows. Kandarpa is a sex desire for presenting good sons. Therefore, Kandarpa is the representative of Krishna. Sometimes sex is engaged in only for sense gratification. Such sex does not represent Krishna, but sex for the generation of good children is called Kandarpa and represents Krishna. Go ahead.
29. Anantaschasmi naganam varunyo yadasham aham piternam aryama chasmi yama sam yamata aham. Synonyms: Ananta, Cha, also, Asmi, I am, Naganam, of the many hooded serpents, Varuna, the demigod controlling the water, Yadasam, of all aquatics, Aham, I am, Eternam, of the ancestors, Aryama, Cha, also, Asmi, I am, Yama, the controller of death, Sam Yamatam, of all regulators, Aham, I am. Translation: of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta, and among aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death. Purport: among the many hooded Naga serpents, Ananta is the greatest, as is the demigod Varuna among the aquatics. They both represent Krishna. There is also a planet of Pitas, ancestors, presided over by Aryama, who represents Krishna. There are many living entities who give punishment to the miscreants, and among them, Yama is the chief. Yama is situated in a planet near this earthly planet. After death, those who are very sinful are taken there, and Yama arranges different kinds of punishments for them.
Text 30. Praladas Chasmidaitayanam Kala Kalayatamaham Mriganam Cha Mrigandaroham Vaina Tayas Chapaksinam. Pralad Cha also Asmi I am. Speaking of Pralad, we're going to have a thing at our house here for Shringadeva's appearance day on the 15th, 14th, which is Saturday, in about a month, a little less than a month. If you want to come over, we're going to serve some, nice food and have kirtan. It's every year because I have Nrsingadev and Pralad Nrsinga. I kind of honor the appearance day. It's called Nrsinga Chaturdasi every year. They're going to have a big celebration in Vrindavan too, but got to have one for my deity. So there's two of them, one for Pittsburgh and one for New Vrindavan. Praladas Shasmi. Okay, Pralad Cha also Asmi I am, Daitinam of the demons, Kalat time, Kalayatams of subduers, Aham I am, Mriganam of animals, Cha and Mriga Indra, the lion, Aham I am, Vainyateya of Garuda, Cha also, Paksinam of birds. Translation: among the deity demons, I am the devoted Pralad. Among subduers of I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. Among birds, I'm Garuda. Report: Diti and Diti are two sisters. The sons of Aditi are called Adityas, and the sons of Diti are called Daityas. All the Adityas are devotees of the Lord, and all the Daityas are atheistic. Although Prahlad was born in the family of the Daityas, he was a great devotee from his childhood. Because of his devotional service and godly nature, he is considered to be a representative of Krishna. There are many subduing principles, but time wears down all things in the material universe and so represents Krishna. Among the many animals, the lion is the most powerful and ferocious, and of the many varieties of birds, Garuda, the bearer of Lord Vishnu, is the greatest.
So kind of a question. So I know that, a lot of like the impersonal commentators on the Gita, will often point out that, something that's said is not to be taken literally. It's, something symbolic and, a lot of, nonsense that gets applied to it. And also kind of going into the idea, obviously, Krishna is, in everything. Krishna is everything because, nothing exists apart from him. So I guess I'm kind of leading to like, how literally do we take each of these statements? Are these meant to be more just to demonstrate that he is the greatest in all things, or?
I think it's like he's the greatest of all things. He created all these things.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, it's an example that just like Krishna says, know that all powerful and beautiful and mighty creations are but a spark of my splendor. And he says this later on in this chapter, I think, like, never mind all this, this is just like just a small sample of my many opulences. This chapter is called The Opulence of the Absolute. So these are just like small indications. These are just a spark of Krishna's splendor. So how great is Krishna? Krishna is the greatest of everything because he created. He's the cause of all causes and all that is. So therefore, all these things came from him. And, the greatest of each thing, just to show how great he is just a subset of his opulence. So I think that's what it means.
Okay.
I don't think that. I pretty much know. I hate when people say, I think this, I think that. It's like, you got to like say conclusively, what is the Shastra? Otherwise, what is the value of your statement? You got to say things conclusively. And it's not a matter of speculation, but the Shastra backs everything up with its own meaning. When you say something, it's an aphorism, and the aphorism has all kinds of meaning within it. Even in one verse, even in one word, there are different meanings, and they're all embedded in that aphorism. So when you're speaking like this, the whole, when you're speaking the Shastra, what you're doing is just opening your mouth and mouthing the words, but what comes out is Krishna. he is the meaning behind these sound vibrations, and he empowers one to speak on his behalf, and therefore everything leads up to another thing. And as you surrender to him, he rewards us accordingly with devotional service. Devotional service is the only ways and means to realize Krishna. So we should, even though if we don't even know what devotional service is, and I still don't, but I'm hoping Krishna will show me what devotional service is so that I can serve him, and he'll point the way just by the process of surrender. All these indications are pointing in that direction. So for sooner or later, we'll get to the point where we're attracted to Krishna, and then when that attraction happens, then one will never tire of hearing these pastimes. And I was just reading another thing, like I like to read, obviously, but I just pointed out this one here. See, persons who regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly are always taking the matter very seriously, will have the personality of God and Sri Krishna manifested in their hearts within a short time. And that's like the essence of everything. What is the essence of the Bhagavatam? It's a devotional service. So everything is pointing to that. And I found something today which actually underlines that point. It's more evidence. A person who desires pure devotional service to Lord Krishna should hear the narrations of Lord Uttama Shloka's glorious qualities, the constant chanting of which destroys everything inauspicious. The devotee should engage in such listening in regular daily assemblies, like we're doing today, and should continue his hearing throughout the day. So that's just, I'm trying to get people interested in these audiobooks and in these readings, because it's really, really important. You have to hear. The Bhagavatam says atichiram, which is Sanskrit, which means for a long time. You just have to hear more and more, because these are transcendental messages. They're not coming from our fertile brains. They're coming from Krishna himself. And it's passed down through the disciplic succession. So, it's really, really important. Okay, go ahead.
1031. Havana Pavatam Rama Shastra Bhurtamaham Jashanam Markarsh Chasmi Throtasam Asmi Janavi. Synonyms. Pavana, the wind. Pavatam, of all that purifies. Asmi, I am. Rama, Rama. Shastra Bhurtam, of the carriers of weapons. Aham, I am. Jashanam, of all fish. Makara, the shark. Cha, also. Asmi, I am. Srotasam, of flowing rivers. Asmi, I am. Janavi, the river Ganges. Translation. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. Purport. Of all the aquatics, the shark is one of the biggest and is certainly the most dangerous to man. Thus, the shark represents Krishna.
I think when he's saying Rama, he's not referring to Lord Ram or even Balaram. I think he's talking about Parshuram, because he's a wielder of weapons, right? I mean, he destroyed the Kshatriya race 21 times. There are lakes with their blood, and somewhere that are still existing. Of course, the blood's not there, but they turn to lakes. Oh, shoot. Gotta check my audio devices here.
Okay.
This thing keeps turning off.
You sounded fine. Is everything okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I just switched I'm turning this other speaker off. Sometimes it goes out. I don't know. Spend hundreds of dollars on these Bose little mini speakers, but they don't work half the time. So we'll just use the computer speaker. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's referring to Ram, Parshuram. Are you familiar with the incarnation?
No.
Parshuram. Yeah, he was really pissed at the Kshatriyas, the royal order, and so he destroyed like 21 generations of them, time and time again. He's an incarnation of Vishnu, actually. Text 32. Sarganam adirantascha madhyam chaivaham arjuna adhyatma vidya vidyanam vada pravadatamaham. Sarganam, of all creations, adi, the beginning, anta, end, cha, and madhyam, middle, cha, also. Eva, certainly, aham, I am Arjuna, O Arjuna, adhyatma vidya, of spiritual knowledge, vidyanam, of all education, vada, the natural conclusion, pravaditam, of arguments, aham, I am. Translation. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Yeah, where's the science of the self in all the universities and educational institutions and throughout the world? Where is the science of self? Nowhere to be found. Only in the Bhagavad-gītā. Purport. Among the created manifestations, the first is the creation of the total material elements. As explained before, the cosmic manifestation is created and conducted by Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Kshirodakshay Vishnu. And then again, it is annihilated by Lord Shiva. Brahma is a secondary creator. All these agents of creation, maintenance, and annihilation are incarnations of the material qualities of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he is the beginning, the middle, and the end of all creation. For advanced education, there are various kinds of books of knowledge, such as the 4 Vedas, their 6 supplements, the Vedanta Sutra, books of logic, books of religiosity, and the Puranas. So altogether, there are 14 divisions of books of education. Of these, the book which presents Adhyatma Vidya, spiritual knowledge, in particular the Vedanta Sutra, represents Krishna. Yeah, that's the science of the self. And, one more paragraph. Among logicians, there are different kinds of arguments. Supporting one's argument with evidence that also supports the opposing side is called jalpa. Merely trying to defeat one's opponent is called vitanda. But the actual conclusion is called Veda. This conclusive truth is a representation of Krishna. Yeah, you can't really arrive at the truth just by argument. There's no way by logic or argument you can arrive at the truth. But Veda means the conclusive truth. That's why Prabhupada is called Bhakti Vedanta, the conclusion. Siddhanta means the conclusion. Read.
1033. Aksharanam akarasmi vandava samasikasyacha aham evakshaya kalo tatatam vishvato mukha. Synonyms. Aksharanam, of letters. Akara, the first letter. Asmi, I am. Dvandava, the dual. Samasikasya, of compounds. Cha, and. Aham, I am. Eva, certainly. Akshaya, eternal. Kala, time. Data, the creator. Aham, I am. Vishvata Mukha, Brahma. Translation. Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma. Purport. Akara, the first letter of the Sanskrit alphabet, is the beginning of the Vedic literature. Without Akara, nothing can be sounded. Therefore, it is the beginning of sound. In Sanskrit, there are also many compound words, of which the dual word, like Rama Krishna, is called Dvandva. In this compound, the words Rama and Krishna have the same form, and therefore the compound is called dual. Among all kinds of killers, time is the ultimate because time kills everything. Time is the representative of Krishna because in due course of time, there will be a great fire and everything will be annihilated. Among the living entities who are creators, Brahma, who has 4 heads, is the chief. Therefore, he is a representative of the Supreme Lord, Krishna.
Text 34. Mrityu sarva harastraham ubhavascha kirti sri vakchanarinam smriti meda didakshama. Synonyms. Mritu, death. Sarva hara, all devouring. Cha, also. Aham, I am. Ubhava, generation. Cha, also. Bhavishyatam, of future manifestations. Kirti, fame. Sri, opulence or beauty. Vak, fine speech. Cha, also. Narinam, of women. Smriti, memory. Meda, intelligence. Driti, firmness. Kshama, patience. Translation. I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Purport. As soon as a man is born, he dies at every moment. Thus, death is devouring every living entity at every moment, but the last stroke is called death itself. That death is Krishna. As for future development, all living entities undergo 6 basic changes. They're born, they grow, they remain for some time, they reproduce, they dwindle, and finally they vanish. Of these changes, the first is deliverance from the womb, and that is Krishna. The first generation is the beginning of all future activities. The 7 opulences listed, fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience, are considered feminine. If a person possesses all of them or some of them, he becomes glorious. If a man is famous as a religious man, that makes him glorious. Sanskrit is a perfect language and is therefore glorious. After studying, one can remember a subject matter. He is gifted with good memory or smriti, and the ability not only to read many books on different subject matters, but to understand them and apply them when necessary is intelligence, meda, another opulence. The ability to overcome unsteadiness is called firmness or steadfastness, driti. And when one is fully qualified and is yet humble and gentle, and when one is able to keep his balance in both sorrow and in the ecstasy of joy, he has the opulence called patience, kshama. Go ahead.
1035. Varhat sama tathas samnam Gayatri chandasam aham masana marga shirshoham Ritunam kusumakara. Synonyms. Varhat sama, the Varhat sama, tatha, also, Samnam, of the Samaveda songs, Gayatri, the Gayatri hymns, Chandasam, of all poetry, Aham, I am, Masanam, of months, Marga Shirsha, the month of November, December, Aham, I am, Ritunam, of all seasons, Kusuma Akara, spring. Translation. Of the hymns in the Samaveda, I am the Barhat Sama, and of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Margashirsha, November, December, and of seasons, I am flower-bearing spring. Purport. It has already been explained by the Lord that amongst all the Vedas, he is the Samaveda. The Samaveda is rich with beautiful songs played by the various demigods. One of these songs is the Barhat Sama, which has an exquisite melody and is sung at midnight. In Sanskrit, there are definite rules that regulate poetry. Rhyme and meter are not written whimsically as in much modern poetry. Amongst the regulated poetry, the Gayatri mantra, which is chanted by the duly qualified brahmanas, is the most prominent. The Gayatri mantra is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because the Gayatri mantra is especially meant for God realization, it represents the Supreme Lord. This mantra is meant for spiritually advanced people, and when one attains success in chanting it, he can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. One must first acquire the qualities of the perfectly situated person, the qualities of goodness according to the laws of material nature, in order to chant the Gayatri mantra. The Gayatri mantra is very important in Vedic civilization and is considered to be the sound incarnation of Brahman. Brahma is its initiator, and it is passed down from him in disciplic succession. The month of November-December is considered the best of all months because in India, grains are collected from the fields at this time, and the people become very happy. Of course, spring is a season universally liked because it is neither too hot nor too cold, and the flowers and trees blossom and flourish. In spring, there are also many ceremonies commemorating Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, this is considered to be the most joyful of all seasons, and is the representative of the Supreme Lord, Krishna.
Yeah, the Gayatri mantra, when you get a second initiation from a spiritual master, you're initiated, you get the Brahman thread. That Gayatri mantra is chanted 3 times daily. Om Bhurrbhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varnam Bhargo. And there's other mantras too that are included in it. Text 36. Dutam chalayatam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham Jayosmi Vyavasayosmi Sattvam Sattvatamaham. Dutam, gambling, Chalayatam, of all cheats, Asmi, I am. Teja, the splendor, Tejasvinam, of everything splendid. Aham, I am. Jaya, victory. Asmi, I am. Vyavasaya, enterprise or adventure. Asmi, I am. Sattvam, the strength. Sattvavatam, of the strong. Aham, I am. Translation, I am also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendor I'm the splendid, of victory I'm adventure, and of the strength, and I'm the strength of the strong. Purport, there are many kinds of cheaters all over the universe. Of all cheating processes, gambling stands supreme and therefore represents Krishna. Yeah, I don't understand why would somebody go and gamble, you just, I mean, the house always wins, right? I mean, you just have to be bad at math, is
Yeah.
my conclusion. If you go down to the casino, as a supreme, Krishna can be more deceitful than any mere man. If Krishna chooses to deceive a person, no one can surpass him in his deceit. His greatness is not simply one-sided, it is all-sided. Just like he cheated Hiranyakashipu, right? He gave him so many, Brahma made so many promises to him. You not be killed in the day or night, on the land and sea, in the air, by any animal or man, by any weapon, by blah, 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 blah. Krishna just cheated him. And he, without violating any of Brahma's promises, he just killed him, and so he's the biggest cheater. Among the victorious, he's victory. He is the splendor of the splendid. Among the enterprising and industrious, he is the most enterprising, the most industrious. Among adventurers, he is the most adventurous. Among the strong, he's the strongest. When Krishna was present on earth, no one could surpass him in strength. Yeah, I mean, that's like the demons. The demons always like really proud. They're going to say, I'm going to kill you, bad idea. You don't want to do that, because Krishna is strong. He's very strong. He's lifted Govardhan Hill. Like even in his childhood, he lifted Govardhan Hill. No one can surpass him in cheating. No one could surpass him in splendor. No one could surpass him in victory. And no one could surpass him in enterprise. And no one can surpass him in strength. He is Bhagavan. Bhagavan means 6 qualities: wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. When you have all those to unlimited degree, you're God. But there's only one God. He's one without a second. Go ahead.
1037. Vrishninam Vasudevosmi Pandavanam Dhananjayam Muninam api aham vyasa Kavinam Ushana Kavi. Synonyms. Vrishninam, of the descendants of Vrishni, Vasudeva, Krishna and Dvarka. Asmi, I am. Pandavanam, of the Pandavas. Dhananjaya, Arjuna. Muninam, of the sages. Api, also. Aham, I am. Vyasa, the compiler of all Vedic literature. Kavinam, of all great thinkers. Ushana, Kavi, the thinker. Translation. Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyasa, and among great thinkers, I am Ushana. Purport. Krishna is the original supreme personality of Godhead, and Baladev is Krishna's immediate expansion. Both Lord Krishna and Baladev appeared as sons of Vasudeva, so both of them may be called Vasudeva. From another point of view, because Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, all the forms of Krishna that appear elsewhere are his expansions. Vasudeva is Krishna's immediate expansion, so Vasudeva is not different from Krishna. It is to be understood that the Vasudeva referred to in this verse of Bhagavad-gītā is Baladev or Balaram, because he is the original source of all incarnations, and thus he is the sole source of Vasudeva. The immediate expansions of the Lord are called Svamsha, personal expansions, and there are also expansions called Vibhinamsha, separated expansions. Amongst the sons of Pandu, Arjuna is famous as Dhananjaya. He is the best of men and therefore represents Krishna. Among the Munis, or learned men conversant in Vedic knowledge, Vyasa is the greatest because he explained Vedic knowledge in many different ways for the understanding of the common mass of people in this age of Kali. And Vyasa is also known as an incarnation of Krishna. Therefore, Vyasa also represents Krishna. Kavis are those who are capable of thinking thoroughly on any subject matter. Among the Kavis, Ushana Śikṣāṣtaka was the spiritual master of the demons. He was an extremely intelligent and far-seeing politician. Thus, Śikṣāṣtaka is another representative of the opulence of Krishna.
Let's see if we can get through this chapter here. It's 628. This chapter is up to 42. If we can get through 42, then we'll be done. And start on Wednesday with chapter 11. Text 38. Dando daya damayatam asmi niti asmi jigitsatam. Maunam chaivasmi guyanam gyanam gyadvatam aham. Danda, punishment. Damayatam, of all means of suppression, asmi I am. Niti, mortality. Asimi, amsi, or asmi, I am. Jigasatam, of those who seek victory. Monam, silence. Cha, and eva, also. Asmi, I am. Guyanam, secrets. Gyanam, knowledge. Gyanavatam, of the wise. Aham, I am. Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment. And of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence. And of the wise, I am the wisdom. Purport. There are many suppressing agents, of which the most important are those that cut down miscreants. When miscreants are punished, the agency of chastisement represents Krishna. Among those who are trying to be victorious in some field of activity, the most victorious element is morality. Among the confidential activities of thinking, hearing, thinking, and meditating, silence is most important because by silence one can make progress very quickly. A wise man is he who can discriminate between matter and spirit, between God's superior and inferior natures. Such knowledge is Krishna himself. Yeah, we need some rod of chastisement here in this world right now. You know, like there's one devotee friend of mine. He's actually my mentor who helps me with my audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like taking me under his wing because he really likes audiobooks. And he's from Ukraine. And he said, he posted this one post about how some devotees like misunderstand, like even when Prabhupada was around, he was in the age of the hippies that were into peace and stuff. And Prabhupada, he wasn't affected by this. He's saying the truth, look, you got to chastise these miscreants. If an aggressor comes into your house and violates your wife, you got to kill him. That's the law. So, it's not like we're pacifists, we're meant to execute the Vedic principles on behalf of the Supreme Lord. And so, he is chastisement. So sometimes for law and order's sake, you have to fight, you have to chastise, you have to use the rod of chastisement. That's just the way it is. You can't run from battle and you can't just say, oh, I just accept whatever comes, no, you have to do what Krishna says. If there's an aggressor, you have to kill him. That's, like one devotee was telling me, oh, this is terrible that the Ukrainians are like putting these like Molotov cocktails to throw at the tanks. But what are they supposed to do? Just let them run all over them? No, you got to fight. So 1039. This is yours, right? Go ahead.
Yachchapi sarva bhutanam bijam taraham arjuna natarasti vina yatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Synonyms. Yat, whatever, cha, also, api, may be, sarva bhutanam, of all creations, bijam, seed, tat, that, aham, I am, Arjuna, O Arjuna, na, not, tat, that, asti, there is, vina, without, yat, which, syat, exists, maya, me, bhutam, created being, chara acharam, moving and non-moving. Translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Purport. Everything has a cause, and that cause or seed of manifestation is Krishna. Without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Therefore, he is called omnipotent. Without his potency, neither the movable nor the immovable can exist. Whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, that which is not.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't exist. Whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya. How can anything be separate from the energy of Krishna? It's not possible. Therefore, it's completely false. It's not that which is not. Text 40. Nantom sti mama devyanam vibhutinam parantapa. Esha tudisha taprokto vibhuter bistaro maya. Na nor anta a limit asti there is mama my divyanam of the divine vibhutinam opulences param tapa o conqueror of the enemies esha all this too but udeshata as examples prokta spoken vibhute of opulences vistara the expanse maya by me. Translation. Almighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Purport. The state in the Vedic literature, although the opulences and energies of the Supreme are understood in various ways, there is no limit to such opulences. Therefore, not all the opulences and energies are explained. Simply a few examples are being described to Arjuna to pacify his inquisitiveness. Go ahead.
1041. Yajad viputimat sattvam Srimad urjitam evava tattad evavat gachatvam mama tejo msha sambhavam. Synonyms. Yat yat whatever. Vibhuti opulences, mat having. Sattvam existence. Srimat beautiful. Urjitam glorious. Eva certainly. Va or tatat all those. Eva certainly. Avagacha must know, Tvam, you, Mama, my, Teja, of the splendor, Amsha, a part, Sambhavam, born of. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Purport. Any glorious or beautiful existence should be understood to be but a fragmental manifestation of Krishna's opulence, whether it be in the spiritual or material world. Anything extraordinarily opulent should be considered to represent Krishna's opulence.
Yeah, I mean, when you're seeing everything in the creation as coming from Krishna, I mean, that which should satisfy all your knowledge because it just reinforces then you can understand Krishna is everywhere and everything, whereas, someone may like go to university and study like insignificant, like I'm sure there's many books on the subject matter of grass, the foliage. You can study that, but they're leaving out like who created this, like everything's coming from Krishna, so it's unlimited. The knowledge you can get is unlimited, and it's at your very fingertips. You can just by connecting with Krishna, he can explain exactly what everything is what that which we cannot understand with our limited senses. He can explain exactly what it is, how it works, and who wouldn't want this knowledge? This knowledge is the greatest thing, but even higher than knowledge is devotional service to the Supreme. Because once you know how great Krishna is, then you surrender to him and you serve him. It's there's another verse I think in the Bhagavad-gītā that says, from many, many births, culturing knowledge, one finally comes to understand that Krishna is a cause of all causes and all that is. And at that point, you surrender to Krishna and serve him. You have no other choice. I mean, he is the source of everything. So why would you not connect with that source? You can know everything. It's like Krishna explains to Arjuna, everything phenomenal or anomalous within this material world is understood when you actually understand the process of transcendental knowledge, with Krishna and faith in Krishna and the Guru. All of Vedas, all knowledge is manifest to a person like that. You don't want to say he's a know-it-all. We don't know anything, but Krishna knows everything. This is the last verse. Let's just take turns here. 1042. Atava bunaitena kim yatena tavarjana Vistabyam idam kritsnam ekam sena stito jagat. Atava or bahuna mini etena by this kind, kim what nyatena by knowing tava your Arjuna or Arjuna. Vistabhya pervading aham I idam this, kritsnam entire eka by one amsena part, stita am situated, jagat, universe. Translation, what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. The Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universes by entering into all things as the super soul. The Lord here tells Arjuna that there's no point in understanding how things exist in their separate opulence and grandeur. He should know that all things are existing due to Krishna's entering them as the super soul. From Brahma, the most gigantic entity, down to the smallest ant, all are existing because the Lord has entered each and all and is sustaining them. You know, that's one thing that's amazing. You know, even the smallest living entity, Krishna is in that little tiny Indragopa germ or little mosquito, you know. And the practice of a spirit soul or of a saintly person is to offer obeisances even to the smallest creature, you know, because Krishna is situated in that creature. He's in the trees, he's everywhere. He's in every single living entity. Go ahead and read the next paragraph.
There is a mission that regularly propounds the worship of any demigod will lead one to the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the supreme goal. But worship of demigods is thoroughly discouraged herein because even the greatest demigods like Brahma and Shiva represent only part of the opulence of the Supreme Lord. He is the origin of everyone born, and no one is greater than him. He is a samardva, which means that no one is superior to him and that no one is equal to him. In the Padma Purana, it is said that one who considers the Supreme Lord Krishna in the same category with demigods, be they even Brahma or Shiva, becomes at once an atheist. If, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulences and expansions of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Sri Krishna and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. The Lord is all-pervading by the expansion of his partial representation, the Supersoul, who enters into everything that is. Pure devotees, therefore, concentrate their minds in Krishna consciousness in full devotional service. Therefore, they are always situated in the transcendental position. Devotional service and worship of Krishna are very clearly indicated in this chapter in verses 8 through 11. That is the way of pure devotional service. How can one attain the highest devotional perfection of association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been thoroughly explained in this chapter. Srila Baladev Vidyabhusuna, a great acharya in the disciplic succession from Krishna, concludes his commentary on this chapter by saying,
I'll read the part here. Chat Shaktile Shat Suryada Bhavanti Atyogra Tejasa Tad Amsena Dritya Vishram Dritam Vishram Sa Krishno Dasame Chate. From Lord Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets its power, and by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. Therefore, Lord Krishna is worshipable. Yeah, it's pronounced Vidyabhushan. The
okay.
S with a dot underneath it is the SH. Okay, that's it. We're good. The next chapter is, I think, the universal form. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. Hare Krishna.
Haribo.